with me here today. I'm gonna do a review on the brand new King Kong or Kong Skull Island toy by Playmates. Yup, this I believe is a new figure or new toy. I'm not exactly sure, but today we're gonna take a look at it. So it's basically a 6 inches toy. Well, that's how tall it is, and this is the back of it. And if you want, you can try to read that, but you know, probably know what it is anyways. And this is the Skull Island because he fights the skull crawler creatures, for an example. So let's get started on opening it up, shall we? Okay, so here we go. We're gonna open it up now. So if I take him out very carefully. Pretty hard to do, but I can do it. There we go. So now we got King Kong. It doesn't say, which ones you can collect. So there's King Kong. I'm gonna be back. So this is the King Kong from Skull Island. So as you can see, he has details, all over the place. He's detailed is okay. He has, the fur, obviously. He's basically like this giant ape, thing that has something to do with electricity. It probably keeps him alive. Well, that's what the Showa one was. And it also, you can see he has details on the face. And if you look very carefully, he has pupils, which is cool because, it looks nice. And you can just see how he doesn't have his mouth open. He just has his, just the face. And I like how his hands, one of them is, is able to hold something, and the other one looks like you can, do this. And you can do stuff like, destroy the city, something, pretty cool action figure. Now, yeah, that's him. Now, let's check out about the articulation. First off, his head can rotate 360 degrees. So you can have him look around, look up, look down. And his arms can go 360 degrees. And they're nicely positioned, so you can have him do this, like an uppercut. Or you can just, do him like this. Like this. One of his hands looks like it's able to hold something, but I don't really have anything to hold. Maybe he holds the axe, but I'm not so sure. And his legs can rotate also. But to me, there's not really any point, though, unless you want him to walk. But the problem, though, is that because of how heavy he is, he has a hard time standing sometimes, so it's just best you keep him in position. And his feet can also rotate too. See how they swivel? But it's best if you keep him like this and just only move the head and the arms, because otherwise he's gonna fall. But yeah, he's pretty cool. You can see the scars and all this stuff. And he's a nice figure to have, especially for someone who loves King Kong. And, or if you just want to have just an ape thing, maybe, or, a gorilla, that's okay too. Now, let's go on to size comparison, actually. I do have another monster that he never really fought, but he's a type of king, so why not? King Caesar. Let's see. He has a hard time standing. I don't know why. I'm just gonna have to put his tail or something. There. Come on, stand. Doesn't really want to stand, but somehow he's balancing from his tail. I'm not so sure if this is accurate, because for whatever reason, sometimes the kaiju seems to change in size every time they evolve. Like, let's say King Kong was smaller, and then he gets, from other movies he's bigger, so I'm not really sure. But if you don't care about the size, he doesn't look bad with him. But that depends if you want to use a Showa one. I'm not so sure how tall King Kong really is, or how he's really supposed to be. But if you want, just forget about the size and you just like, to fight with the figures, he doesn't look so bad. I think King Caesar was like 70 or 60 meters tall, and King Kong might be maybe the same size. I'm not so sure. But if you don't care about that, this doesn't look bad at all. You can have, let's say King Kong versus King Caesar. But obviously I usually, because King Caesar is actually a good monster in the Showa one. But in the Final Wars, I'm not so sure if he's a good person, but I mean a good monster, but you can just do this, I'm the king now, not you, Bigfoot. That's not nice. That's, King Caesar. What about King Ghidorah, who actually appeared in Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters, or Godzilla King of the Monsters? He's a very, very popular monster. He never really fought King Kong, but, just doing it for show. Now, I have a feeling the size here is wrong, because I remember how big, King Ghidorah is. King Ghidorah should actually be, like, this big. Not even this small. This is, not right. But unless if you want to have the smaller version of King Kong, maybe, but what are you gonna do? Unless if you don't care about the size, it looks okay, but for me it doesn't, because, King Ghidorah is supposed to be a very big monster. So I'm not so sure why. Now, what about one that's probably gonna make you laugh just for giggles? Mr. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Well, depending of which King Kong you're using, he may go good with Mr. Stay Puft, but if you're using the one where he's huge, that's not accurate. This is not going to be accurate, because Stay Puft, I believe, is 100 feet tall or something, and King Kong, whichever one you use, sometimes would be bigger. But if you're using a type of King Kong to where he's like the height of a building, it may not look so bad. Besides, it's kind of funny because, he's like, hey, I'm Mr. Stay Puft from Ghostbusters. I'm the boss, not you, gorilla. What? How dare you? There you go. That's Mr. Stay Puft. I'm not going to activate his sounds. But yeah, that's Mr. Stay Puft. What about some Ultraman monsters or other monsters that are just interesting? What about Naranga? There actually was a video called King Kong vs. Naranga from a YouTuber called Gassera or something. Unfortunately, the scale is not right, but if you're using him as the giant one, it may go okay, but if you want to use the Showa one, he won't go so well. I think Naranga should be like this tall or something, not this small. He's too small, unfortunately. But, what are you gonna do? Unless if you, don't care about the size, he may look okay, but, yeah. I'm gonna get you! No, you won't. Wee. What happened? Where did he go? You don't get that joke? That's because he's invisible. He's the invisible, transparent monster. The electrical one. Now, how about Sadora from Ultraman Jack, or from the Ultraman series? He's not from the original, he was from Ultraman Jack. Now, this is the Showa version. This is not the, like the Mebius one or the Ultra Galaxy one. It's okay, the sizing, but I think if you're, well, I would imagine the Skull Island one is actually huge, so if he's huge, this may go good, but for Showas, maybe not. I think Sadora should be slightly bigger, but, if you don't care about the size, this doesn't look so bad at all, actually. So you can, do something like this, whatever. I'm gonna do a review on this Adora figure eventually. He's one of my favorites. So what are you gonna do? What about an Ultraman? Just for giggles, if you want to have King Kong versus Ultraman, human versus, gorilla. Here's an Ultraman Jack. This may be accurate. If you're using them as a Showa gorilla or the Showa King Kong, it may not be so accurate. But if you're using him as the giant ones that you see like in Godzilla vs Kong, this doesn't look so bad actually. And it looks okay. You can have let's say Ultraman, any Ultraman, Ace, Taro, anyone you have to fight King Kong like like this. Like this for an example. Wow, that actually went very, very crazy. I have to escape. Bye-bye. You. That was Ultraman Jack. Let's try an Ultraman that I haven't removed the tag yet, but I'm just, just for show. He's a little bit taller for some reason. The sizing doesn't look so bad, but this is depending of which King Kong size you're using. If you're using Showa size, it may be, but if you're using the larger size one, that doesn't look so bad actually. Because in the other ones, he's actually larger than a building. So, yeah. So this doesn't look bad. That's for Ultraman. What about another one who kind of looks like a king, but he's not a king. He's just this updated version. Ridorako from the original Ultraman. If you're using the Showa one, this doesn't look bad, the size. But if you're using the giant one, he looks okay too. So I think the scaling for Ridorako is okay. I don't see anything wrong with it, but this is depending of which one you're using. And if I'm wrong, then I guess, just forget about the size. If you don't care about the size, this doesn't look bad at all. Since Dorako has a crown, some people mistake him as King Dorako. So we'll just say he's, a king. Hey, I'm the king. No, I'm the king of the hill. Go away, you comet. There we go. Now, what about a Retasaur from the 2000 Phantoms? Well, this is obviously an iguana or some Komodo dragon, but because he has the neck design. Depending of what Retasaur you're using, because sometimes he would appear in many different sizes, he may not go so bad actually. And if you want, you can have, some sort of a T-Rex dinosaur fight him. Ah, you're annoying, you rascal. There we go. Oops. I'm gonna have to fix that for a sec. I'm not gonna explain the history about this King Kong, not just because, it's long. It's also because, we all know who he is. So, if you want to Google who King Kong is, just Google it and you'll see the history. What about a Kraken that he fought in... He didn't fight him in the new ones, but he fought him in Godzilla vs. King Kong in the Showa one in 1963 or 62. This doesn't actually look so bad. I remember in the very old one, the Kraken or the octopus was quite big, so if you're using him as a Showa or the larger one, this doesn't look bad at all actually. So the scaling with this is okay. This is actually some sort of a regular octopus I just got a long time ago. But I'm using him as a Kraken because he's, it's just cool. We got 2 more monsters left and then we're done. How about another one that I haven't reviewed yet? Red King. Now, depending of which King Kong you're using, if you're using the one that's, let's say, Godzilla vs. Kong, the sizing actually doesn't look bad. Because Red King is 40... What size is he? He's 45 meters tall, so I would imagine he's taller than that. So this is actually not a bad scaling. but this is depending of which one you're using, and if you don't care about the size, it still looks okay anyways. You can have, you know, two different types of kings, and just like with the Naronga one, there's another video called King Kong versus Red King. I don't know if it was from Gessera or Bubba Ultra, I'm not so sure, but they're recent videos of, you know, Ultra Monsters, by the way, so just Google, you know, King Kong versus Red King, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So you can just, you know, if you want to make a video, or just, you know, do this type of part where he's like, oh, I'm the king, not you, and why are you called Red? You're not red. Ah! Just joking. Actually, even better. Watch this. There. Kick them away. Now, we have one more monster left, and the scaling of this may actually go well. Here is the most popular monster, just like with Red King, which I forgot to mention, Gomorrah, or Gamora, from the original Ultraman. As you can see, the scaling goes good. It actually even goes better because Gomorrah is actually shorter than Red King. Red King is 45 meters tall, but Gomorrah is 40 meters tall. Just 40, not 45. So depending of which King Kong you're using, even if you're using the tall one, this is actually not a bad scaling, really. It's actually quite good. I don't see any problems with it, and if, you know, if there is and you don't care, it looks okay anyways. You can actually maybe do a video called King Kong versus Gomorrah or something. Maybe there is a video about it, but, you know, if you want to do a toy version, that's up to you. Just make sure when you know, make movies, you want to make sure nobody hasn't made ones before, because then that means you're copying them. I'm the king, you prince of the monsters, Gomorrah. And then he's walking, you know. So that's Gomorrah. So yeah, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this King Kong toy review. I'm not going to give out the history because, you know, the history is not just big, but let's just say he appeared in the very original King Kong. He appeared in, you know, ones called Godzilla vs. King Kong, not the new one, but the Showa one. He also appeared in King Kong Escapes. He appeared, you know, and there was actually a 70s version of a King Kong, but I don't know what it was called. It's just King Kong. And then in the 2000s, we had the one where he climbed on top of the Empire State Building. I don't remember which one that was called. I think it was called King Kong, I don't remember what it was called. And then we had King Kong Skull Island, the 2017 one, I believe that's the year it was made. And then we obviously had one called Godzilla vs. Kong. And this time it's the new one. And for those of you who saw the ending, that's cool. I actually saw the ending of it, and you won't believe what happens. But I'm not going to tell you it, though, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. King Kong is one of my favorite monsters. And, you know, he's a pretty cool creature. If you just want him as a gorilla, he looks okay with it. But if you want him as a, you know, let's say an enemy or some creature to Godzilla or other kaiju, he goes well with it. You can use him for Ultraman if you want. Use him for Godzilla. Or maybe use your own creatures like the Rhedosaurus or, you know, Kraken. Whatever. He'll look okay with it anyway. So, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and see you guys later. I'm the king. Yeah.